Pickaxe.
Want to listen along with the cast and crew to each new episode of Nocturne? We host live listening parties over on our Discord every single release night. So head on over to patreon.com/castparty to become an official part of our cast and crew. Come hang out with us and experience the show with the cast as we embark on the journey of Nocturne. You'll also get access to hours upon hours of bonus content, exclusive behind-the-scenes info, and so much more. Patreon.com/castparty. Thank you all so much for listening. Enjoy the episode, cast and crew, and good luck. Welcome back, cast and crew, to Nocturne, A Curse of Strahd Tale. My name is Ryan McManus, and I will be your director for today. You can find me running the Cast Party socials at CastPartyD&D or on my personals at rye.mcmanus. And I am joined today by my very sad people up in the attic, ready to embark on another spooky adventure. We have Vince.
Hi, I am playing Theren, Man of Hope and Retribution. I'm part of the Cast Party crew. I play Jet in there. You can find me, Jet and Pebbles, on whatever.
Next up, we have Sin.
Hi, salutations. My name is Sin, and I will be playing Aasria, finding courage in the face of fear. You can find me on all my socials as sensationally.me, CIN instead of SEN.
Back again, we got Christian.
Hey guys, I'm Christian. I'll be playing Tannis, a chain forged in blood. And you can find me on my socials at Captain Carlson, that's cpt.carlson on Instagram, captain.carlson on TikTok.
And back for the last time, we have May. Just kidding.
Back for the last time?
I'm kidding.
Everybody, wait.
Okay, I guess this is my eulogy. I'm May, and I'm playing Zielle. She was beloved by all, the most beautiful in all of the world, and is also slaying in every meaning of the word. That's the tagline there. And I am May LaFay on all of the socials. And goodbye, I guess.
With that heartfelt goodbye, let's jump into the poem to recap what happened last time. Theren did a freak out and erupted in purple. Easing his mind became one heck of a hurdle. With things all settled, you went through the first door. A library of sorts sits on this second floor. You found a map in a window, but no children in sight. Nothing but mist could be seen from this height. Tannis searched for a book and instead found a clue, a dead skeleton, a trap, and papers askew. You found the deed to a house, and weirdly, a windmill? All these possessions to be given to Rosen Thorn in a will. And lastly, a letter from a voice that rang in your head. A man called Strahd in this land filled with dread. You crossed the hall to a room meant for dance, and you did just that, but with quite a bit of hesitance. But Zielle persisted as music erupted, a symphony of peace as you all leveled up did. Zielle danced with Baron, and Aasria fought for the lead as you called it a night and went upstairs to see what lies on the top floor, which Zielle noticed quickly as she sensed a nearby ghost, a woman young, starved, and sickly, cradling a child, sharing that same ghostly look as Aasria snuck away her own mission she undertook. She found a mage's tunic hanging for all to see, although she'd seen this garment before and usually filled her with glee. She brushed the fabric with her paw, and at the tear in the seams, where she should have felt nothing, scales intervened. A fight broke out as the tunic came to life, singeing the party and ruining the night. The tunic was torn, threads all about, as a single green scale fell to the ground. Aasria placed it in her pocket as Zielle did some healing. Theren had Baron and an interesting feeling. The ghostly woman felt sympathy for another young child and pointed to a mirror as she finally smiled. The mirror showed Theren, much older and gray, but it also showed Baron, how he should have looked today. The mirror shattered with this vision, revealing a door to the attic. Theren charged up the stairs as the rest followed in panic. You found an odd door, locked from the outside, and suspecting the worst from what was inside, you brace yourselves for a fight as Theren unlatched the door, only to find two small skeletons lying dead on the floor. With toys strewn about, the frightful scene leaving you perplexed. The question I ask is, what will you do next?
I'd like to just walk forward a little bit and kneel down and inspect the skeletons a little bit.
Go ahead and give me a medicine or a survival check.
Can I give the help action as I was going to do something similar? And I would love to come alongside Theren as he's inspecting these skeletons and sort of offer or point to things that I feel like could be helpful. You know, something like that.
That help just pushed my dice right to a nat fucking 20.
There we go, baby.
Let's go, baby. T-Bro's on top.
Oh my god.
Theren, as you bend down, you take a knee to inspect these very small skeletons. You don't see any breaks in the bones. You don't see anything that would cause any caution to you as far as anything physical, except for when you get to the hands. The tips of the fingers almost seem shredded, worn down, scraped. And as Tannis kneels down to help beside you, he peers back at the door, and it's raked in scratch marks.
They did nothing but suffer in here.
They tried to escape.
They must have been here so long. Alone.
How did they end up in a room locked from the outside?
Somebody wanted to keep them in. Clearly.
Do you think this is what they were talking about in the letter? Something about sacrifices?
Must be it.
Their own children.
Why sacrifice 2 innocent, small children? What is the point? What do you gain?
I don't know. None of this makes any sense.
I think perhaps we should look around. There's something going on here. And I would like to, I guess I'll kind of sadly wander over to the dollhouse and inspect it. See if I notice anything about like the figures or anything like that. Or maybe, they talked about a basement that we still haven't found, or if there's like anything like that.
Give me an investigation check with advantage.
14.
As you bend down to look at this dollhouse, again, it's just as if you shrunk the house from outside and placed it in this little child's room. You're seeing the first floor with the den and the kitchen, the second floor where you guys danced and you found the library. And then you get up to the attic where you reside right now. The dollhouse doesn't have a basement, but tucked away in the corner, the second your eyes peer at this staircase, not the one you came up with the red carpet, but one tucked behind a wall. From outside the room, you hear a click.
Oh.
Aasria, if you are outside the room, you would have heard this to your south. A click, and a wall panel shift. Zielle, you can see that this staircase leads downward, the length of the house.
Oh. Aasria? Call back to Ozzy.
Aasria's just frozen. Like, she looks terrified.
I'm going to try and move from the bodies more close to Aasria. Typical Tannis fashion. Attempt to help. No, it's all right. They have...
They're dead.
They are dead. That, yes. But we need to figure out what happened here, especially if we're going to get out. And in a way, figuring out what happened could be a way of giving them peace. I don't know if we saw their spirits outside or something weird is happening here, and I think that if we get to the bottom of it, it's for the better. Are you okay? I'm saying all of this because it feels like maybe you're not okay.
I'm a little freaked out.
Right, it's a lot.
Tannis, would you help me?
With what?
Aasria's just gonna kind of not answer that and then start walking towards the first skeleton and picking it up to put it on a rug.
Yeah, of course. I guess I'll do the same with the other skeleton.
I would like to roll them up in the carpet to kind of carry them all as one.
Lay these 2 skeletons next to each other. It's as if they are resting as how they went, huddled in each other's arms, as they're wrapped up in this carpet, secured, and in safe hands.
If it's okay with everyone, I'd like to bring them out with us.
I think that's a good idea.
Zielle, did you find anything with the I look and see that you're looking at the dollhouse, and I don't think that I've put together that it's an exact replica yet. I think it's just a dollhouse.
Oh God, such a boy.
Has that been helpful? Have you found anything? Did you want to take that with us as well? You could play with that if you wanted.
What? No, we don't need a dollhouse. Look, there's a stairwell right back here.
What are you talking? In the dollhouse? Oh!
Yes, the replica of the house.
Okay, all right. I see it now, and I feel a little bit silly.
The basement. They said the parents, these awful parents who let this happen to their children, we have to see what happened to him.
Okay, and that's true, but I want to say this. I think, obviously, we've got lots of weird stuff going on. Obviously, maybe coming in here with a crossbow pointed at the skeletons was not my best move. Just so everyone understands, I am very concerned that there is something to do with the undead going on here. I think we should be on our guard. I just feel... They mentioned sacrifices in the letter. They've mentioned weird things going on. Let's just not take anything for granted. Okay, I guess is all I'm trying to say.
Theren, what do you think?
If this is how they treated these two, we have to investigate.
Yeah.
Agreed. Carefully, though.
Before we leave this room, if there's like 2 toys I could grab from the chest, obviously I don't know Rose and Thorn, but I would like try to pick one that seemed like a Rose toy and one that seemed like a Thorn toy to like bring to the ghost or to bury them with or something. I don't know.
As Aasria was rolling up the skeletons, she did set aside the little rag doll with the 2 big buttons for eyes that you saw Thorn carrying outside. And there's another stuffed animal in the toy chest, something that Rose would have liked, that you're able to grab and carry with you as well.
Down we go.
Down we go. Straight to hell.
Ladies first.
I'm gonna proceed with some caution, despite the fact that she is, of course, trying to look confident as always. Can I see in the, like, how dark is it? I'm sure there's no light really in here, right?
It does get pretty dark as you're walking down.
That's fine, I have dark vision. But I just kind of want to, like, test each stair as I go to make sure they're not, like, so old that they break apart or anything like that.
These are very creaky. You can feel the wood bend under your feet, but they seem sturdy enough for you to traverse downward.
This is a party question. Does everybody else have dark vision?
Yeah.
Yep, it's just you, Tannis.
Aasria's gonna hand her tail to Tannis.
Before I take the tail, I'm going to try to pretend that noticing everyone else is having like a really easy time, I would like to pretend that I'm also having an easy time. So whatever I need to do in order to give that illusion, I'm willing to do. Tannis is fully committed to the bit at this point.
All right, here's my question for you, Tannis. Are you trying to play it off that you know what you're doing, or are you trying to know what you're doing?
A little bit of both, a little column A, a little column B. But I think if picking between the two, it would definitely be the second, trying to know what I'm doing. I would like to not fall, is essentially, I think, where Tannis is at with this right now.
Let's do acrobatics. You're trying to walk down a flight of stairs in the dark.
Oh, you better not domino us right now.
I actually have pretty good acrobatics.
That one.
Not much better than that. I rolled a 5, which is super exciting. So that's a 9.
It was Zielle, then who?
I assumed Theren.
And then Aasria?
Mm-hmm.
Tannis dex save, Aasria strength save.
I thought you said death save.
Same thing, right? Same thing.
Catch him.
Natural 20.
Awesome. Woo! That's so good. So I rolled pretty well for me, I think. That's a 2 on the dice, giving me a whopping 6.
Tannis, as you begin to descend the stairs, again, these are old stairs. They're creaky, they're rickety. Some of them seem like just 2x4s that they grabbed from outside to build this secret staircase leading downwards. This isn't supposed to be regal. It isn't supposed to be a show. Some of these stairs, their width just doesn't match up to one another. You think you have the pattern down as you come across a thinner stair, and you miss it entirely, falling forward. But luckily, Aasria, even holding this rug, is strong enough to steady you with one paw behind you as you hit her back and lift you back into place.
I'm gonna quietly just move my tail to where I remember Tannis being as an offer.
Very gravely silent. Take the tail.
Noticing this, Theron's just going to pull his sword out, tap the tip of the sword against the wall, and I'm going to cast light on it.
Oh, Theren, some warning.
So you could do that the whole time, and you just didn't, huh?
Didn't know you needed help there, buddy.
It's pitch black in here. You can't see anything.
Can you not
What do you mean?
see at night?
I see just fine.
Are you so wait a minute. You're telling me you can show of hands. Who all can see right now? Not right now because of the light, but before there was a light, just a show of hands.
Everyone raises their hand.
Zielle's not even looking back. She's just hand up as she walks forward.
Just still walking forward, yeah.
Yeah.
Sword in one hand, arm in the arm up in the other.
Right. Okay. That is embarrassing. Thank you so much for the light. Theren,
Can we get the ball rolling now?
we can get the ball rolling, yes, sorry.
Thank you.
The light's still shining up through this spiral staircase, enough for you to at least traverse downward. When you think it's gonna stop, it just keeps going until you arrive at the end with a narrow tunnel that stretches eastward before branching off. From the moment you step foot on the solid dungeon floor, you can hear a faint, sinister, incessant chanting echoing throughout the chambers. It's impossible to gauge where the sound is coming from or even discern its words as of right now.
Is there any way to tell the number of does it sound like a ton of people or a few people or
Enough to echo through the halls and be muddled within one another. From this distance, with how much it's bouncing off of these stone walls, it's just combining into one mash of words. You can hear the rhythm, but nothing else.
I'm gonna turn around and give him the little shush hand gesture. It looks like there's 2 directions we can go.
Yes, so in front of Theren, it looks like there is a small outcropping, just a very tiny hallway. In front of Tannis and Zielle, the hallway continues east. You can almost see a little meeting area at the end. Empty, but with a wooden table, rickety and molded.
Are there any lights lit down here? Or are we in darkness and we're the only light?
You are indeed in the dark. You don't see any torches. You see no light. Those with dark vision can see down and into this small meeting area. No individuals, no monsters. Tannis is struggling. But that light from Theren is helping immensely.
If this is the only source of light, should we keep it lit?
Yeah, you can turn it off. I don't need it. I'm fine. I've got it. I'm a creature of the night too. Just stop. Just don't keep it on for my sake is all I'm trying to say.
And I'll just tap it against the wall again and the light goes out.
I am gonna say this way, and I'm gonna slide past Tannis, and I'll grab his hand to guide him as I do so and go to the meeting room since I can see that there's not people in there, so I would like to go check that out first.
Yeah, I'll take the hand very gratefully and move through the pitch darkness.
I will definitely not lead you into a wall.
Zielle, as you're taking the lead and you're walking past these 2 small hallways, what's your passive perception?
It is a whopping 12.
As you're walking past these very small individual hallways leading towards this small meeting room, this gathering area, you see a glint of iron, almost like a welcome. Though passing it, you couldn't really tell what it was.
Like it's calling to me, or what does that mean?
Like an introduction.
Oh. Okay, I would like to go to this room first. Let's set up a little base. Let's take things one room at a time here.
As you get to the little gathering room, it's really just that. It almost looks like an old dining hall with a plain wooden table flanked by these long, cracked benches. There are moldy, humanoid-looking bones scattered throughout on the floor, cracked, broken plates. But other than that, Not too much else. However, there are 2 ways. Off of this meeting room, you can go further east, what you can assume to be deeper into the basement, or you can go south to a smaller hallway.
I'm going to slightly squeeze your hand. What do you see?
It's a meeting room. There's bones, human bones. Nothing recent. We can head to the south or further into the east. Does it seem like the chanting is coming more? I would assume it's east, but does it seem like it's coming more from one direction?
It would be leading you more east. However, you can hear it ramp through the south end as well.
Oh, good. Well, let's just go straight to the source of the problem then.
Aasria, what do you think? Aasria.
Theren and Aasria, if you are still by the exit of the spiral staircase, what are your passive perceptions?
Find out what I didn't notice. Like,
10 for Theren.
10 for Aasria.
Yeah. Theren and Aasria, since you are kind of tucked into the back corner, you also see that little glint of iron, enough to be a welcome into this small hallway. You cannot see words from here or any depictions on this iron. Something iron hanging on the wall.
Theren will just kind of look in the direction of that and just kind of look at Aasria and be like, well, what do you think, boss?
It seems like they have that way covered.
Aasria, where are you?
You almost can't hear Tannis's whisper. It almost melds with the echo of this chanting.
With my dark vision, would I be able to look down any of the halls on the way?
Yeah.
As you're walking, you're taking up the rear, especially this southern one, as you get more towards the meeting room. There are 3 sets of these little hallways. They only go about 5-10 feet. The 2 you've seen so far have been 10 feet deep. However, the one closest to this gathering room has only been 5. So you can actually get a little bit more of a hint of what this piece of iron might be. As you get closer and you peer in, you see 2 iron slab coffins. And with a quick peek, the iron on the wall is a plaque titled Durst Family Crypts. These 2 in particular that you can read from the plaque are labeled Rose and Thorn Durst.
Aasria. I will point out both of the coffins. I think I know where those bones belong.
Do you mind not judging me for a moment?
It's not my job, not my place.
I'm gonna take one and just start opening it. I just want to make sure we didn't grab a random body.
I will help her.
These are up on small pedestals, huge stone slabs, etched with the name Rosavalda Durst, as you begin to push open the lid and reveal an empty coffin.
Okay, so I didn't grab random children's bodies. Good.
I think I know what we should do. Should we let the others know first?
Yes.
See, I don't think they followed us in here.
Oh. Okay, we shouldn't go into a cult, whatever this is, without them. Aasria,
Aasria?
you got lion ears, I know you heard me.
See, are you messing with me? Is she not actually there?
Follow.
Ah, right. Theren, good to hear you.
Just follow my voice. We have something to show you.
I'll tell you what it is, Tannis.
Thank you.
As I bring them over, for Tannis' sake, I'm going to run my finger across the lettering on both of them. I will cast light on them so that the lettering will light up so that he's able to see everything in there.
Thank you, Theren. That's very thoughtful of you.
I'll let go of Tannis' hand.
Right, yes. Yeah.
It's, we think they're their graves.
I think we were meant to lay them to rest. So if we can please get on with this. It's their time.
I'm sorry, it feels like every time we're doing something, it feels like we're like 30 minutes behind whatever timetable you've set in your brain, but we're a team here, so if you could stop making it seem like we're all running behind Theren's schedule, that would be terrific.
I think he's just blunt, Tannis.
Fine, let's all get to the coffin thing that we should have done however many hours ago.
Aasria's gonna, shoot Tannis a very awkward, what's going on look? and then just kind of unroll the carpet.
Tannis will give that almost apologetic shrug, the like, I'm doing it. Like, well, I don't know why you're mad at me. Look, and then start trying to open one of the other coffins.
Tannis goes over to push the lid aside on Thornbolt Durst's coffin. This big stone slab, just enough to allow Aasria to lower in each body.
Should we say something?
Yeah, right. Aasria, if you'd like to say a few words.
Well, I didn't know them, and, no one knew them, but even without knowing them, I know that they were filled with good and hope and light. Regardless of how the world treated them, I think that they still held those to the very end. I've never done this before. I don't know how funerals work.
No, it was good. I think it was good.
It's alright, we're just honoring them. And you did that. I would like to also place one plushie in each coffin, please.
As the skeletons are placed in each coffin, Zielle goes over and adds in the stuffed ragdoll and the stuffed bear before the rest of you close each shut. And for putting the children to rest, I would like everyone to take inspiration.
Ooh.
So this is just a meeting room here that has human bones, but it doesn't look like anyone's been there for a while. I think we should just go straight to the source. I mean, what are we gonna do? Just avoid it?
Well, what's the source? Sounds like it's coming from more than one direction.
Right, but I think if we just head, judging by the layout of the house, if we just go inwards, and she'll point towards the eastern hallway, we're bound to find them, right?
Did she point?
Aasria's gonna put a hand on Tannis's head and just turn his head.
Before you do that, he's gonna face the direction he thinks is east. It's definitely not. Yes, east. Right.
Tannis, maybe you should walk in the middle.
Right. Yeah, no, I can,
I'll start walking down the eastern hallway.
Zielle, as you continue down the eastern hallway, there is a hallway that goes north, south, and then it continues east. You can see at the end of the eastern hallway, it does branch off north again. The chanting does seem to mainly come from south, as you can see a small set of stairs continue downward.
That way. And she'll just turn and continue down the hall.
Tannis will wait for someone to bump into him or push him in the right direction.
Aasria's gonna just put a gentle paw at the back.
Theren will bring up the back.
As you guys head towards these stairs, the chanting continues to get louder and louder.
Listen, we can't vanquish evil if we're not brave. We got this. Even you, Tannis.
Don't say even you like that, Z. That's
Did
not...
we say we were fighting evil?
You know there's evil in here. There's dead children.
Okay, okay. I didn't think it was evil. I didn't think it was on that scale.
It doesn't matter, Aasria, because you are good, and good beats evil every time. You got this.
You hear the high-heeled footsteps walking downstairs, continuing around the corner. And you come to the bottom portion of the basement. As you descend these stairs, the chanting continues to get more and more discernible, louder, echoing through a reliquary. As you walk into this room, bouncing off the chamber walls, from about a dozen or so voices, over and over and over again. Though no faces, no bodies to be saying this. Just what you can see to be a mishmash of relics portrayed throughout this room.
I'm gonna tug on Aasria's tail a little bit. How many of them are there? Where are they?
There's no one, it looks like. It's just a bunch of relics and things.
No, the voices. No, who's saying that? Who's chanting?
Yeah, there's no source yet.
Okay.
Can I investigate? Do they seem holy relics or like magical or like anything identifiable?
Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
17!
As you're walking through this quite expansive room, definitely a lot bigger than what you've seen before. 30 feet long, 15 feet wide. You go around to each of the pedestals that hold these relics. Everything from a knife carved from a human bone, a dagger with a rat's skull set in the pommel, an 8-inch diameter varnished orb made from a Nothic's eye. Anything and everything, but none of it seems to make sense in the slightest. It might seem treasured to the people who put it here, but to you it's just, they don't seem to make any sense. The more you see and you circle this room, they almost look like each relic has something to do with a body part. Each one has their own sort of display, not encased, just out for all to see. But as you do your circle, you see 2 hallways, one more south and one more north. They both lead east. One you see is a ramp that leads downward, and you can see water at the bottom of it. The other seems to lead further into this dungeon of sorts.
Can I do a listening perception for the sound and see if it sounds more prevalent in one direction or the other?
Yeah.
That's actually one thing I was going to do, is kind of stand in between the 2 hallways and see if I could tell, like, is the sound coming more from the north or from the south?
Yeah, why don't you give me perception as well?
Nat 20!
Nat 1!
Aasria and Theren, as you go over to these 2 hallways, you're standing almost in between them, trying to figure out where. Aasria, you know for a fact that this chanting is coming from the northernmost hallway. Theren, you know for a fact the chanting is coming from the southernmost hallway.
Theren starts slowly making his way through the southern hallway.
Theren, where are you going? We need to go north.
They're here.
No, it's here.
Definitely this way.
I believe Aasria.
Yeah, I think we should follow Aasria. I'm holding her tail.
I can see that.
I hate you.
Well, surely down is where the bad things are, right?
Tannis, just so you know, when we go down, it's gonna get a little wet.
Okay. Good to know. Thank you. I appreciate that heads up.
But I trust my ears a lot more.
Theron's already looking down the hallway. Not going, just looking.
As you peer on in, you can see iron bars. This almost looks like a prison or a place for holding cells.
You say you can hear where they're coming from, but I see cells. And if we're looking for somebody held prisoner here, they could be behind those bars.
I thought we were looking in these words for evil because we're fighting evil. I feel like if they're in a cell, we can come back to them. If we don't die.
We could, but if there is somebody in a cell, why would we leave them?
You could stay, Theren, if you wanted to. You could stay and figure that out by yourself.
Tannis, that's really mean.
He was mean to me first.
Theren will walk in to where the cells are.
What did he do? Did he do it?
Yeah, he left. He went down.
As you're walking through the cells, why don't you give me an investigation check?
Nat 20.
What the
There
heck?
we fucking go.
Yes, let's go.
That is 2 for me this session.
This is on
You guys
fire.
lied to me. You hustled me. I'm gonna be the lowest roller. I hate it here.
Theren, as you walk in, at the very end of this prison is a small lit lantern at the very far end, only allowing you for a little bit of dim light, but enough to see a black robe hanging on the wall on the very southeastern portion of that wall next to the lantern. There is a human skeleton in it, but it is very, very dead, and you can see it has a gold ring on its finger.
I will grab the light. Before grabbing it, I'd like to take a better look at the ring.
With the Nat 20, it does look somewhat prestigious, I guess you could say. Worth about 25 gold pieces, so please add that to your inventory.
Let's go.
Grave robbing.
And Theren, as you lift the torch off of the wall and you turn back to go grab your friends, halfway through, tucked into one of the cells, you catch a crack in one of the walls. It's almost like the stone shouldn't be there, or maybe it never really was. As you walk up, where there would be stone, your torch waves right through it.
Oh.
an illusion.
Stealthily, I would like to just stick my head in through enough to see what is through there.
Theren, as you peek your head in, you see smooth masonry walls that provide excellent acoustics for this chanting. But as you peek through, the chanting stops. As you peer into this 40-foot square room, featureless stone pillars support the ceiling of this shoddily made ritual room. Murky water covers most of the floor, with stairs leading up to a dry stone ledge that hugs and encircles the outer walls. In the middle of the room, more stairs rise to form an octagonal dais that also rises above the water. Rusty chains with shackles dangle from the ceiling directly above a stone altar mounted on the dais. The half-rotten remains of a humanoid figure, lifeless in its grasp. The altar is carved with hideous depictions of grasping ghouls and is stained with dried blood that seem to waterfall down each step, emanating from the center of the altar. The water, however, begins to vibrate as you were the first thing to enter this ritual room, almost like a small earthquake is making its way through the home, as the chanting rises once more. This time, different. As 13 dark apparitions appear on the ledges overlooking the room, each one resembles a black-robed figure holding a torch, but the torch's fire is as black as night and seems to draw light into it. Where you'd expect to see faces are voids. One must die, they chant over and over again. One must die, one must die.
I pull my head right back out.
The chanting continues. It is now heard throughout the reliquary, through the prison. It is shaking and rattling your head.
I'm hastily going to make it back to the group.
What did you do? I told you to go in there as a joke. Theren?
Here, I give him the torch. We have quite the issue right now. There is something occurring in that room. You can go down that way. We can make it to the center. Or I think we can go through here. There was an illusion, some sort of wall. I don't know what you want to do.
We'll go that way.
Yeah, lead the way.
If you think there's something happening, we should stop it.
You're right.
Clearly there's something happening.
Are you saying they're connected?
I believe so.
Would it help if 2 of us went this way and 2 went the other way?
In this occurrence, I don't know. I don't know if we want to split up that way.
You have 60 seconds.
Oh.
Look, whatever it is, let's just move, okay?
I'm not good far away.
Stick together. Front way. Let's go. Let's stick together. They're saying one must die. Let's stick together.
Most of them were at the Overlook. We must take some of them out at least. If we are going to fight anything, that is our best chance up there.
Who's good at distance?
Whoever's good with a bow or spells, follow me, and I start going up top. The rest of you go down.
Who's going down?
Going down.
Aasria's going down.
I have nothing ranged.
I have a torch, so now I can kind of see, and I'm going to follow after Theren.
Aasria and Zielle, as you get to the bottom, your feet submerge into 2 feet of water, and there is a portcullis rising from the bottom through the water. There is no way through unless you plan on doing something about the portcullis.
Like we could lift it, possibly, with our combined strength?
You could try.
Hey, help me with this.
Okay,
You roll with advantage. I'm gonna help you.
22.
Let's go.
That's what I'm talking about.
Aasria is able to grab these iron bars of this portcullis, submerge through the water. You're able to wrench them downwards. Where it would be a locked position, you break right through it. The lock breaks as the portcullis falls right through the water, making a splash as you guys enter the bottom of the ritual room.
Oh god.
And from here, with no kill happening in the time frame, the chanting changes. Let the flesh rise so another may fall. Let the flesh rise so another may fall.
We're supposed to kill someone.
Rotten flesh, ripped apart limbs, and strewn about organs rise from the pools of water.
Okay.
As they arise, they are seemingly sucked into this hanging man atop the altar.
Oh, no.
As his new body parts form and flow up the stairs in streams of blood, the hanging man begins to grow exponentially. As the chains are engulfed into this mound of patchwork flesh that he has become, this heap of tissue and muscle and meat rips the chains from the ceiling and begins to charge at Zielle and Aasria being the first things that he can see. Without hesitation, as a heartbeat, small and slow can be heard from the center of this monstrosity's chest.
Oh, Walter!
I would like everyone to roll initiative.
Walter!
4 for Theren.
12 for Tannis.
I got a nat 1 for a total of 3.
17.
Are the Black Cloak guys still on the upper part or no?
They are not.
Oh.
As the chanting began and this monstrosity emerged, they disappeared. As this monstrosity of flesh and body parts, different limbs, emerges on top of this dais, it is not quick enough to charge. However, its eyes set on Aasria and Zielle. Zielle, you are up first.
As we've seen all this like flesh muddling together and forming into something, she's already drawn her weapon. As it takes like a final form, I will light it up with divine smite. Suni, protect us, please. And I would like to roll to hit it. 13, it's big, right?
As the swing hits, it almost seems to stop dead in its tracks as you do not hit. Your shuttle almost gets caught in this mound of flesh. One of the mouths opens up that should be on the lower half and just holds onto it. You aren't able to penetrate any skin, but you are able to grab that shuttle back out before it's lost in the maw.
Abomination. She'll step in front of Aasria, not to like get in her way, but like to give her a chance to go around or to distract the monster or whatever.
Next up is this monstrosity's turn. As this flesh mound, one of its several eyes, makes eye contact with Zielle, is going to take its one large limb comprised of legs, organs, and sinew and slam down at you. That is a dirty 20 to hit Zielle.
You lucky jerk, I have a 19 AC that hits me.
Oh.
You have 19?
Pray Suni!
You are going to take 9 bludgeoning damage as this arm comes down and almost engulfs you. Can I have a athletics check, please?
Aasria panicking is gonna reach that glaive the 10 feet in front of Zielle and reduce some of that damage.
Ooh, okay.
So it's gonna be 2 damage for her now.
2 damage instead of 9. As this large, grotesque arm comes down to slam on Zielle, Aasria from behind you swings in with this glaive just over your head as it takes a good chunk off, only hitting you with a half of the portion of this arm. The other half falls into the water before being sucked back into this flesh mound.
It was 11. I hate it here!
Even with the chopped off arm, Zielle, this arm is able to wrap around your leg and pull you in as it makes its way up your waist, up your torso, finally encompassing your entire head as you are inside of this flesh mound, restrained and unable to breathe.
Oh no. Oh, that's really not good.
Zielle.
Yeah.
Can you make me an investigation check?
5.
You hear this small heartbeat. Up. However, being inside of this flesh mound, you're not quite sure where up really is.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
As we move to Tannis, with Theren on deck.
I'm on the overlook. How far away from this flesh monstrosity?
You are on the overlook. It is a 10-foot drop, and then you are 10 feet away from the stairs. You would be able to hit it from the stairs.
The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out my hand crossbow, and I'm going to try and shoot it. I think Tannis is just recollecting Theren's impromptu strategy, which was having somebody ranged on the overlook. And so I'm going to try and take a shot at it and see what that does. How does a 22 do you?
22 is going to hit. Please roll damage.
It's going to be 8 damage. Pull this out of my bag, look down over the overlook. As I watch Zielle get sucked into this flesh mound, the realization of how high the stakes are in this moment sets in. Tannis is no longer operating with thought, it's all instinct. Whips out that crossbow, takes the shot, fires it. That's my turn.
This crossbow bolt launches from the top row, hitting this arm that is recoiling itself in as you see Zielle's last limb be engulfed. Theren, you are up with Aasria on deck.
Theren is going to pull out his sword, and as he does, you can see his eyes start to light up more. That purple and black mist just starts to surround him more, and it forms that ball in front of him again like you'd seen in the past. Takes his sword broadside, basically, and just baseball bat hits this for an eldritch blast. 19 to hit.
That is going to hit.
3 force damage. When that ball of energy hits him, you could see that as it disperses out, it enshrouds him. And with my bonus action, that's going to be Hexblade's Curse.
As you wind up, you take a big swing through this ball. As a beam is launched at this mound, the purple residual smoke almost encapsulates the entire thing and remains. As Aasria, is your turn. Z, you're on deck.
I'm gonna move around to the other side, hoping it avoids Z. I just don't want to hit her. Just start panicking for a second. Whispers to herself, A to Z, A to Z. I'm gonna heal myself very briefly. I heal myself for 11.
You were missing 11 hit points?
Probably more.
Aasria, feeling calmer, thinking about Z, is gonna focus, and I swing a glaive at this thing.
Taking a moment to steel yourself, breathing, you feel reinvigorated as you take your swing.
18.
18 is going to hit.
11 slashing damage.
Good damage from that swing, finally being able to calm yourself and bring yourself to battle. Been a long time since you've wielded this glaive, and you made good use of it.
That's all I got right now.
Zielle, I need a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, it's a 4.
Oh,
May.
no.
Shit.
You are going to take 3 bludgeoning damage as this thing slowly begins to crush you within its skin. I'm going to ask for another investigation check, and then your turn is yours.
It's a nat 1.
What is happening?
Listen, this is what you get for being so mean to me.
Zielle, as this flesh begins to crush your bones, the outside world is muddled. It's as if they're in an entire different house, outside, not even here. You hear the faint swinging of Aasria's glaive. You hear the blast that you heard from Theren upstairs. But the only thing ringing in your ears is this small, consistent heartbeat above you.
I know that I'm extremely restrained right now and can't really breathe. I want to send a very brief message using what little breath I already have. Like, I just need to be able to whisper a few words, I guess. As things are getting a little hazy and she's trying to keep her heartbeat calm because she knows she'll lose breath faster if she doesn't, but also it being kind of hard to do that. We'll send this choked whisper message to the creature, thinking it's Walter. Walter, Thorn, Rose sent us. They love you. Help.
The heartbeat quickens as you hear in your head incessant crying. Not that of a sad child, but one in pain.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah.
Zielle is crushed inside. We move to the Fleshmound's turn with Tannis on deck. Now seeing a new foe appear in front of it. The Fleshmound. It doesn't even need to turn as an appendage grows out from the center and takes a swing at Aasria. 23 to hit Aasria.
Yeah.
Aasria, as you took this large swing with your glaive, as you're on the backswing, this slam catches you off guard as it comes and barrels into your chest. The bones, the blood, the organs spewing from the impact as you take 13 bludgeoning damage, and I need an athletics check.
That's fine. Aasria's good at athletics.
24.
It tries to do the same. You saw it with Zielle. You saw as it hit, more appendages began to grow around and grab Zielle, whether it was a leg, a foot, or a hand. And as it hits you, Aasria, you are able to push it off and back away and rear back for another swing.
I want you to know in that moment, I'm thinking of my cleansing stone, and that's what's protected me.
Tannis, you are up. Theren, you're on deck.
Tannis is going to try something. My first instinct was to take my shot, and I did, and it landed. However, I'm realizing that Zielle is still somewhere inside this thing. I would like to clip my crossbow to the fabric belt that I'm wearing, pull the dart from my hand, extend that chain. I would like to try and throw the dart into this flesh creature in a way that might potentially create essentially a rope.
Ooh.
If that makes sense. The dart goes in, and if Zielle is able to find it and pull on it, that I can pull her out using the chain.
Roll me to hit. It's a piercing dart. If you hit, it will be embedded into the creature's body.
Don't hit me.
I went ahead and I burned my inspiration, and it didn't work. For just a moment, I remember one of the mean comments that was said to me in the hallway when I couldn't see, and it distracts me just enough that the dart is off target. Tannis is going to sort of curse under his breath and sort of yank the chain back and attempt to do it again, but that's a complete miss. I think with that, I would like to at least start to run down the stairs, at least as far as I can get, and that is the end of my turn.
As we move to Theren.
Seeing Tannis run to the east side, down those stairs there, Theron's gonna run to the west, and he's gonna go 25 feet within 10 feet of this creature. And as you see him like running down those stairs, the black mist starts to emit more out of him, out of his back, and you could see tendrils start to pop out of him. As he gets to the position that he wants, those tendrils, all like 10 of them come out of his back, and they all come and just grab this creature at the same time. And that's Arms of Hadar.
Ooh, fun.
Very spicy.
It's a strength saving throw.
Zielle is not affected by it, given that she is inside the monster. Theren, that is a 12.
That does not pass.
Let's go.
10 necrotic damage, and it can't take reactions on its next turn. Also, with my curse, I get an extra 2 damage on that.
As these tendrils erupt from Theren, they begin ripping apart the flesh of this mound, this heap, trying to find some semblance of Zielle underneath. As we move to Aasria.
Aasria's gonna mentally prepare herself for this. I would like to jump into the center and stab down.
No, wait, no, because Zielle's inside.
Give me a roll to hit.
19.
19 is going to hit. Roll me damage.
13!
It is in disbelief, all of you. You've never seen this side of Aasria before. As that mouth almost begins to turn into a snarl, as she runs up the stairs, leaps on top of this being, and plunges into it. As the glaive makes purchase with this flesh, you rip away and you pull that weapon out, revealing half of a heart as you see it beat through the flesh.
Aasria being really engulfed in this moment and really engulfed in adrenaline and bloodlust is gonna make another attack using her claw and is gonna grip down on this heart.
Roll to hit.
My heart doesn't want to do this, Ryan. 23.
Roll damage.
7 damage.
Aasria, as you rip apart this flesh, you finally find an opening to this small, rapidly beating heart, now exposed to the elements, and your claw. As you reach in, you grasp it within your hand, and your claws protrude from your hand, piercing this heart, smaller than your palm, as it slowly begins to stop. As the flesh turns into water, almost, as it disperses and begins to slide, almost like slime, down this dais, back into the water. Zielle, you are drenched, prone on top of this dais, but the ritual has been sated.
Ew!
As the rest of the body falls into the water, everything is calm, warm, and you feel the weight of the room, the weight you've felt on all of you the second you stepped foot in this house, wash away. You see spirits from within the water, underneath the pools, fly up, through the ceiling. 1, 2, a dozen, 2 dozen. Spirits being released as they wisp away. As Aasria, from your palm, a small wisp of smoke follows suit. I need everyone to make wisdom saving throws.
Oh, good.
Oh, come on.
Not one, baby.
Oh, no.
12.
19.
I got a natural 20.
The rest of you.
What?
Zielle, prone on the dais. Theren, standing in the water. Aasria, gazing down at this child's heart in your hand. Freeze. You can no longer move your bodies. Tannis, however, walking up the dais, you find yourself free. However, in the back of your mind, you can sense that something tried to get at you. Some form of magic tried to inhabit your brain, to stop all movement, all function, as you see a pale man, looking to be in his early 30s, emerging from the shadows that hide the corners of this large sacrificial room. You see magic fading from his upheld, clenched fist. His short, jet black hair is kept swept back from his face. Strands on either side fall and hang just below the sharp points of each eyebrow. Sharply defined and devilish facial features exude sly cunning and exorbitant amount of charisma. In the middle of his forehead sits a prominent widow's peak, and his dark, liquid eyes have an intensity that can make even the strongest man nervous. You feel the weight of his gaze upon you as he regards each of you by name. His high boots make no sound as his feet carry him up the stone steps to the pinnacle of the altar, standing right next to you, Tannis. He adorns exquisite clothing, albeit in a somewhat outdated style. A red button-up lavish vest is draped by a dark blue cape that flows like liquid as he walks, and his shoulders are mantled with white fur. His physique is lean but muscular and stands an inch or two taller than 6 foot, with a large sword resting at his hip. But he makes no motion for it as he approaches your frozen, paralyzed bodies, planting himself next to Tannis. Well then, I suppose I should extend some gratitude for finally putting an end to this miserable excuse for a cult. They worship me to no end. Did you even see the statue they put up of me? Pathetic. Oh, how rude of me. I feel introductions are in order. I am Strahd von Zarevich. As he begins circling around you all, he brushes Zielle's chin with the underside of his hand, clenching a hand tightly on Tannis' shoulder as he passes him, giving Theren a once-over look before rolling his eyes and staring daggers at Aasria with a sly smirk. I would like to welcome you all to my humble valley of Barovia. I hope it has treated you well so far. Somewhat kindly, I hope. You're quite the adventurer, aren't you? Grabs your shoulder tighter, Tannis. Easy on the eyes, and sharp on the mind. Or is that your friends? It's not very often I find strangers wandering into my domain, but I think you'll make some fine playthings. Better than the last group. They crumbled within a week. And that was, 3 decades ago. Well, now that introductions are out of the way, I really must be going. I have some rather important business to attend to. Grieving lover and all. But this was fun! How about dinner?
We'll do dinner. Why the magic? What? You run this place, yeah? You're the top dog? Why bother freezing everyone?
For fun.
For fun. Right.
Show you what I can do, because I've seen so much of you.
They didn't work on me though, did it? Interesting.
Maybe your mind's not sharp enough.
Dull tools get the job done, don't they? You mentioned a grieving lover though. Who is that, if I might be so bold?
I'm sure you'll meet soon.
Don't want to introduce her. All right, well, pleasure doing business with you. I'm sure we will talk again.
Don't forget. Dinner. All together. Tannis, he's staring directly into your eyes as he says, "As a family," as he disappears into the shadows. And that is where we will end tonight's session.
Why was he staring into my eyes, Ryan? Why was he staring into my eyes, Ryan?
Thank you all for listening. We're so excited to be here. I say this every time, but oh my gosh, we can't get enough. We look forward to this every single week, and we're so excited to have another long-form campaign, and it's only gonna get better. So come back soon. Good luck. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Who's clapping?
You're clapping. 3, 2, 1,
No.
clap.
Christian.
No,
Wait,
I'm not.
no, but is it Christian's is
We've
delayed?
just established I'm the worst internet connection and apparently didn't even understand
You're
how the
fine
clap
right
was
now.
supposed to work.
Okay.
Go, someone
okay,
else.
Fine. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, wait,
no,
you can't say no.
We all did it, right?
No, do it again. Do it again.
All right.
Do it again.
Okay.
You got it? You can't say go.
Oh, okay.
3,
You just
2, 1.
go 3, 2, 1, clap.
Clap.
Okay.
Here we go.
3, 2,
No.
no.
That is so much pause. What are you doing, Sid? You know
3.
this.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Faster. Next time.
Faster than that?
You see
Oh,
the
yeah.
pressure that being the clapper brings. That's why I
3, 2, 1.
resigned. I had to resign the position. I tried so hard to be the clapper and I just wasn't cut out.